This essay example, as well as thousands of others, is available in text format on our website for free and without registration. Simply Google Ivy Panda Free Essays.
Heart of Darkness is a novel published in the wake of the 20th century, 1902. Joseph Conrad authored it and Charlie Marlow is the main character. The novel is regarded as one of the most important examples of the use of symbolism in modern literature. Its structure is that of a frame tale where a story is told within a story. According to the story, Marlow was the captain of a ferry boat in Atsung, an African country. The title of the novel carries with it significant meaning. It covers the various types of darkness experienced by the main character. First, there is the literal sense, which is the darkness of the wilderness in the country. Marlow says, God-forsaken wilderness in reference to the African continent. Secondly, the darkness brought about by Europeans who treated the natives with a lot of cruelty colonization. The third level of darkness that comes out from the novel is that of the tendency of every human being to be evil. The essay discusses what the character Marlow discovered about European presence in Africa as well as what he realized about the potential of human nature. It also focuses on Marlow's inner being on the journey. Being the main character, the entire story centers on Marlow, and many literary analysts argue that he reflects the feelings, opinions, and experiences of Conrad, the author. Marlow sees a similarity between the experiences of Britain under the rule of the ancient Roman Empire and its officials. The Romans perceived the Europeans the same way the Europeans were regarding the African natives in the 19th century. He is annoyed by the cruelty of the Europeans towards Africans. The natives were facing poor treatment and were experiencing forced labor from the whites. Marlow appears to be a man of immense pride and civilization with some sense of compassion. He also holds unique values from the rest of his European counterparts, the Belgians. In general, Marlow's narration emphasizes that there was a trail of darkness for Europeans, and they ought not to have colonized the Africans with such cruelty. Marlow also discovers that the whites acted contrary to what they claimed in the various reports. Instead of bringing civilization to Africa, in Marlow's opinion, they had turned into oppressors. Marlow learned a great deal about the potential of human nature. In his opinion, human nature can either be human or humane. Being human implies acting like a primate, having a mind, and being living. To show compassion, be tender and loving, have a kind heart, and be considerate is to be humane. Marlow learned during his encounters in Africa that one does not affect or influence the other. They are two totally separate qualities of human nature. He discovered that human beings can lack a humane nature when dealing with each other. He saw the Europeans maltreating the Africans as though they were slaves. Marlow says, I could see every rib, the joints of their limbs were like knots in a rope, each had an iron collar on his neck, and all were connected together with a chain whose bights swung between them, rhythmically clinking. This observation made him conclude that human beings are potentially evil, even more than the devil himself. But he believes the evil nature can be overcome when he says, even apart from the very natural aversion, I had to beat that shadow. As Marlow went on his journey, he discovered his inner being that made him distinct from the rest of Europeans. As he reflected on the Congo River and his life, the desire to find the truth and face reality grew. He acknowledges that man's potential to act inhumanely towards fellow man was one of the greatest sins. Marlow noted that man can choose to be humane and should be seen in action rather than mere words. The essay has discussed what Marlow discovered about European presence in Africa as well as what he realized about the potential of human nature. It also focused on Marlow's realization of his own inner being during the journey through the jungle in Congo. The novel, through Marlow, provides a vivid picture of how the Europeans treated the natives during the colonization period. If you want to find more works like this essay on Marlow and Heart of Darkness, head over to ivypanda.com. It has a collection of free samples with thousands of submissions covering virtually all academic subjects. No registration required to access it.